Indian, Chinese, Laotians into one category, and I find that offensive as an Asian person. And so when I come out and say,
but Tim, that's an identity.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have David Pakman mopping the floor with Tim Pool. They're having a debate on identity politics, and David Pakman finds a flaw in Tim Pool's argument. Let's watch.
about, I've been physically attacked by the left, not the right. People are right now taking a quote from Vox.com to make it seem like I am an anti-Semite so they can get me removed from my bank account and stuff. That's not coming from conservatives. It never has.
That's fair. That's totally fair. But I guess what's important to me...
I will go through these videos, though. I will. So forgive me.
And I actually don't need you to do an accounting of each video. For me, it's more, if I look at your channel and 85% is criticisms that are what I would consider relatively niche in terms of their existence on the left, it doesn't strike me as someone whose priorities are center left to say, here's what I think 85% of my channel should be.
But here's the thing. Tulsi Gabbard denounced identity politics outright with Michael Tracy. She said straight up, it's divisive, it's bad for us.
Okay.
Identitarianism is one of the biggest things that I have a problem with due to my family history being, I know it's kind of a meme, but mixed. And this comes from... When we look at affirmative action...
But Tim, isn't that identity politics? You're saying your view on this is informed... You're against identity politics as informed by your identity.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'll put it this way. I am not permitted the left nor the right allow me an identity. So what that does is it kind of ostracizes me. And what I find recluse, not recluse, but what I find safe harbor, I guess, is...
So right here, Tim Pool is wanting to bring up that his identity, his background does matter, but not anyone else's. Not anyone else's identities matter, and they shouldn't bring it up as a point of speaking. But he still feels the right to bring up his own identity in the topic at hand. David Pakman cuts right through the bullshit and says, "Hey, well, Tim, what are you saying right here?" And we see Tim try to worm his way out of it.
The fact that the U.S. actually had protections against discrimination based on race in these things. So for me, someone who's experienced it from both directions, I'm apprehensive towards either direction. When I have the left telling me I'm a white male and the right telling me I'm a mudblood, like I'm not going to be happy.
Fine, but Tim, so I have the left saying I'm not Jewish, I'm white, and I have white privilege, and I have the right saying I'm not white, I'm Jewish, and Jews are a race that is really bad, and we should be really... So the fact that...
I hear you.
But that doesn't make me all of a sudden say I'm going to do 85% of my videos and criticize the left. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's what you personally find important, right? If you watch any of my videos, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Subject matter doesn't dictate politics, simply because you've got, who's, and again, it's my opinion, but
Sure.
When I say who's trying to remove people from the internet, it's not like Nancy Pelosi. It's a particular sect of a group of progressive, more far left individuals who's trying to get people removed from their banks, who's trying to get people banned, who's arguing in favor of regulation that restricts speech. It's not conservatives and it's not moderate Democrats.
Okay, but a lot of your stories don't relate specifically to that issue. But let's not belabor it. I do find it sort of interesting, though, that in the same sentence that you said you're against identity politics and that's why you like...
And here we go. We have Tim Pool making a sweeping rationalization, saying that it's the left that is telling him what he needs to do and that he needs to go somewhere else and needs to leave. And I think that he may just be misinterpreting what the left is actually saying. David Pakman is wanting to get through to him that, hey, these things matter, but, you're obviously just not in tune with it. Maybe we could talk a little bit more about it.
Tulsi, you made an identity politics argument based on your identity, which strikes me as a contradiction of sorts. That was weird to me.
There's the support of politics based on someone's identity and the support of opposition to that, right? I don't, and let me make clear, some identity politics are absolutely a good thing. It's identitarianism that's a bad thing. So
okay.
Maybe that's, so I tell people this: authority is a good thing. Like when a doctor tells you, hey, there's someone injured, put your hand on the wound. That's true authority. You'll just do it. They're right.
Okay.
But authoritarianism is a really, really bad thing. So telling someone in our society, you cannot factor in race in terms of public accommodation, that's a violation of civil rights. I like that. When you say we're absolutely going to factor in race, I don't like that. So it's nuanced, I guess, right?
And does anyone who's saying that we have to factor in race when it's not a relevant factor?
The ACLU, when they supported affirmative action at Harvard, which lumps all Asians, Indian, Chinese, Laotians into one category, and I find that offensive as an Asian person. And so when I come out and say,
but Tim, that's an identity to say. You should be able to argue whether it's offensive or not offensive, right or not right, without saying because you are part Asian. You find like that's identity politics, which you claim to be against.
I agree. And I think the clarification.
So Tim Pool is really a progressive. He's just trapped. He's a progressive that is trapped inside of a conservative's body, conservative frame. David Pakman is wanting to get across to him, hey, you're really a progressive. You know, you're saying that you don't agree with any of these things, but it seems like deep down in your heart, you are. You really are wanting what you're fighting against for. It doesn't make sense.
Then I think what we're discovering here is that it's not so much the core idea of identity politics, it's the application of in ways that either is reductive or authoritarian. So
there we have it, you guys. We have David Pakman and Tim Pool going on about identity politics. David Pakman is able to call Tim Pool out beautifully, and it doesn't seem like he was able to get across to him what the idea is, that hey, you may actually be progressive on this issue, but Tim Pool is still going to be blind to the subject matter at hand. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It's another day in the progressive way.